Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese show striking similarities in two ex-NCAA champions' push to break free from mental struggles. ABL folded, but the WNBA, anchored by the NBA's television reach, promised longevity the former never managed to achieve. Into that new world came Val Whiting, drafted 17th by the Detroit Shock in 1999. There were big promises she could count on, but instead, she soon found herself slipping into depression and in and out of the lineup. What showed on paper as injuries or personal reasons was, in truth, a quiet storm she didn't know how to navigate. She withdrew into silence, carrying the weight of performance anxiety, low confidence, and mistakes alone. Then years later, in the quiet of the COVID-19 pandemic, Val Whiting opened TikTok and shared a simple video on mental health. That small act cracked open years of silence, revealing not just her own story, but the power to reach others. Today, Whiting stands as a certified mental performance coach, life skills instructor, and serves on the National Advisory Board for the Positive Coaching Alliance. We at Essentially Sports reached out to the two ex-NCAA champion and former WNBA forward to pull back the curtain on a rather ignored side of the game. Val Whiting shared some unspoken truths, and in doing so, offered advice that players like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark can carry far beyond the final buzzer. As athletes, we all dream of the big moments, the championships, the recognition, the highlight reels. But what people don't always see are the battles behind the scenes, injuries that keep you off the court, or the mental toll that comes with pressure, criticism, or uncertainty, Whiting told Essentially Sports. And yes, while it's been over 2 decades, the struggles Val went through in the 1990s are practically still the same in today's world. I've lived both sides of that. I've been cut, traded, injured, and I've also struggled with my own mental health while playing at the highest level. That's why I can relate to what players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are going through, Whiting added. Whiting's college career was remarkable. Pac-12's all-time leading scorer and rebounder, 2x All-American, 2x Pac-12 Player of the Year, National Player of the Year finalist, and an ESPY nominee. Her dominance carried into the ABL, where she led the Sandoza Lasers in rebounds and ranked second in scoring and rebounding with the Seattle Reign. But things shifted when she entered the W. Val Whiting first faced depression during her debut WNBA season with the Detroit Shock in 1999, and she ended up stepping away for the following year. After marriage and motherhood, she joined the Minnesota Lynx next, playing 26 games in 2001, starting 15, and 6 in 2002 before leaving the league. So, Whiting knows the pressure that comes along with expectations and success. For Caitlin, the frustration of being limited to just 13 games this season has to be tough. When your identity is so tied to your sports, sitting out feels like losing a part of yourself, Whiting told Essentially Sports. A similar emotion was also painfully evident in Caitlin Clark's season-ending message. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. Clark poured hours into the gym, tried rehab, left no stone unturned, but her right groin injury and bone bruise wouldn't let her return. The inability to play, weighed down by a brutal season, and to give fans who traveled miles a glimpse of greatness, the guilt hurt hard. So, here's Val Whiting's key to a breakthrough. My advice to her, Caitlin Clark, would be, keep perspective. You're more than your stats or minutes on the court. Use the time to strengthen other areas of your game, your leadership, your voice, your vision for how you want to impact the game long-term, she said. But the former Iowa Hawkeye star isn't the only one facing setbacks. Even Angel Reese is navigating rough waters. Reese has handled cyberbullying with charm before, but this time the challenge is different. Her own words have left a deeper mark. As Whiting explained in her interview with Essentially Sports, for Angel, navigating constant debate and outside noise is its own kind of injury. Words cut deep, and public scrutiny can weigh just as heavily as a physical setback. For Chi-Town Barbie, it's her competitiveness and drive to help the Windy City team succeed that capped off her sophomore season, but not in a good way. She openly admitted she never intended to hurt her teammates and offered an apology, explaining that her words had been misconstrued. But did it matter?